Hello, hello, hello. Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2. Another dismal performance. Manchester United in the absolute mud. Worst performance I've seen. I've said this last week. I thought it was the worst performance I've seen. This was the worst performance I've seen. It seems like every time they can't do worse, they keep doing worse. This team is finished. Ten Hag is finished. There's no saving this. It's over for him. That first half was absolutely garbage. Garbage. This team deserves relegation. This team is playing like a team that deserves to be relegated at the end of the season. And if it wasn't for the amount of money that we spent and certain quality of players that we are able to bring here because of the name and because of the amount of money we have, we would probably be relegated if we were a regular team. Because any team that plays like this in the Premier League would be relegated at the end of the season. We are absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. I mean, from players to the manager, the whole thing is absolutely dysfunctional. And I'm going to have to criticize Ten Hag heavily here today because I've been protecting him, trying to back him, trying to give him benefits of the doubt. But today, I don't know what the hell he was thinking. I don't know what the hell he was doing. I don't think he knows what the hell he was doing because he didn't do shit. The players didn't do shit. Nobody did anything at this club. It was an absolute just disgusting performance. Disgusting. At halftime, I didn't even want them to come back out on the pitch. I wanted them to get on the bus and go back to fucking Manchester. Just give Bournemouth the 3 points because it was absolutely fucking useless. Useless. They didn't come out to play. They didn't come out to play. They didn't want it. Ten Hag looked like he don't care. The players don't look like they care. Is there anybody that cares at this football club anymore? Because I don't know. I'm almost lost for words here. I'm almost lost for words. I'm in a cross between I don't know what to fucking say about this and just disappointment and anger. I mean, it's absolutely unbelievable that a team like this can continue to perform like this. And by the way, I said it in the match preview, we have been averaging 18 shots against us all season per match, and we gave up another 18 shots today. We were absolutely dysfunctional in the first half. I could go get a team of under 12s and put them on that pitch, and they would play better than anybody that played in that first half. Why Ten Hag is taking out Garnacho over Rashford? Why Kobe Mainoo is coming out for Mason Mount, and why Mason Mount is sat on the bench for 77 minutes when he was Erik Ten Hag's first signing of the season. He spent $55 million on him, right? And this guy is rocking the bench, and a player like Marcus Rashford, who has been shit all season, who hasn't done anything, is allowed to run around. He's not even fit. He picked him. People are going to argue because Anthony is injured. I don't give a shit if Anthony was in a coma. If Anthony was fit, Rashford probably would have started anyway. So, I don't know. To me, it's Erik Ten Hag's on the last line. There's no taking a step back and drawing a new line in the sand. He's in the last line. Either stand up, have some balls, take these players, these overpaid, underperforming players, take them and sit their ass on the bench and drop them from the fucking squad because they are not giving you 100%, they're not giving the badge 100%, and they're not giving the fans 100%. So take them, put them on the fucking bench where they belong, and put in the other players. Because at this point, we're playing shit regardless. So people want to argue the subs aren't good enough. Well, I'd rather see the subs come on and actually maybe even try, because I thought Diallo was pretty good when he came on. He had some moments. He showed more in the time that he was on the pitch than Rashford has shown in the past 5 fucking games. So it's up to Erik Ten Hag now. Maybe he doesn't want the job anymore. Maybe he does want to get sacked. Maybe he wants to get paid. Maybe he realized that this job is fucked. Maybe he realized that there's no direction to go forward at this club. It's a mess and he wants out, but he's not going to walk away from his money. So he's just going to sit there and let himself get sacked. Maybe that's what he's decided. I don't know. But this team is a fucking laughingstock. They are a disgrace. They are spineless. They are spineless. They have no balls. They have no balls from top to bottom. Why? Every single other day, there's a story coming out about the manager being replaced. Where is the leadership from the new owners? Where is the leadership? Where is the coming out? If you're going to back the manager, then back the fucking manager. If you're going to remove him, come out, make a statement, and say you're going to do it. Why are we letting the media run the narrative? Why are things that the fans can see week in and week out not being addressed by the people that are running this club, that are in charge of positions? There are players that shouldn't be playing. There are fans that have been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks that these players should not be on the pitch. Yet the manager continues to pick these fucking players. There is a severe issue at this club. A severe issue at this club from the top down. Nothing has changed so far. And it keeps getting worse. And I don't even think this is the worst of the worst. And I'm going to tell you right now, we will finish from anywhere from 8th to 10th place at this point. People were keeping hopes for top 4. We don't deserve top 4. We don't deserve any type of European football. We're playing so bad, we don't deserve to play in the fucking Conference League. That's how shit we are. That's how shit we are. This team playing like this, if it was any other team, if you take any mid-table club and let them play the way we've been playing, they would be relegated. This team deserves relegation. We are saved by the amount of money we have. We are saved by pretty much our money. The fact that we are able to bring in some type of players because we can pay them $300,000 a week. The fact that we have a decent youth setup and that we can go and get younger players like a Garnacho, like these players, pay a little bit extra money and get them in there and bring them through. We are saved by all of this. If it wasn't for the fact that we have more money than a certain number of teams in the league, we would be totally fucked. We would be totally fucked. I mean, this isn't a team. So that's my little rant on this. We're going to get into more details in the match. If you can, real quick, smash the like button for me, please. It really helps us out. I greatly appreciate it if you could do that. It takes 2 seconds of your time. Subscribe if you haven't already. And turn on the notifications so you know when we go live. So, oh man, I mean, the first half was abysmal. I would have pulled off Rashford. Casemiro was garbage. Delo was getting cooked on this right side. Kumbala was getting cooked on this right side. I mean, there was such a lack of understanding between Delo and Kumbala. Like, it was just a mess everywhere. I feel bad for Andre Onana because maybe some people decide that they're going to want to criticize the goalkeeper for the two goals. You know, when you look at it, you're like, yeah, maybe he could have done better to save it. But at the same time, This guy is getting peppered week in and week out. He's also having to make some crazy ass saves so that we're not losing 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's hard for me to criticize that guy when everybody else on the pitch isn't doing their job. When everybody else on the pitch is playing like complete dog shit. Dog shit. It's absolutely disgusting. This team is disgusting. This team is not a Manchester United team, and I'm sick and tired of these players. I don't like these group of players. I tried to back them. I tried to support them, but I'm done with them. I'm done with them because they're done with us, and they're done with this club, and they're just here stealing a paycheck. They shouldn't be here. They should get their balls, find them, right, and request a fucking transfer if they care about football. If they care about playing, if they care about winning, they should ask for a fucking transfer and go to another team because you have surpassed your time here. You are hanging on to something that is not good for us and not good for them. So, and I know they're not going to do it. because why would they do it? They're literally stealing a wage here. But there are players that should not be here. There are players that should not be playing for this club anymore. And I am hugely disappointed in Erik ten Hag. Hugely disappointed. The fact that he played Marcus Rashford when he was not fit, when Diallo didn't get minutes for 2 matches in a row after saving his ass from a cup, because that cup is keeping him alive, right? Because the league position isn't keeping him alive. There's no European football. So, and he chose to still start Marcus. Marcus didn't do fuck all. Garnacho didn't play good either. But when I look at it, who did more for me? Who did more for my job this season? Alejandro Garnacho or Marcus fucking Rashford? And the answer, obviously, even if you're fucking Helen Keller and you're blind and deaf, you would know that Alejandro Garnacho has done more for Ten Hag and has done more for this club than Marcus Rashford has done all season. So why was Garnacho substituted at halftime to put on Diallo, and Marcus Rashford was allowed to do whatever the hell Marcus Rashford was doing, which was not playing? He was not playing. I'm not caught. He was not playing football. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but you know. And another thing that I have to hit on is, you know, people. I seen it already. They're coming. They're criticizing Højlund. How the hell are you criticizing Rasmus Højlund? How can you possibly criticize Rasmus Højlund? He wasn't great, but 75% of that shit isn't even his fault. I mean, we bought a striker that we completely overpaid for, by the way. Not that I don't think he's not good, right? I think he's good. I think he has raw talent, and I think he has certain abilities that he is good, and he has strengths to his game. But when the team is not playing to him, when the team isn't looking to give this guy the ball, how do you want this guy to perform? He is a striker. He is meant to get the ball in and around the box and be given opportunities to put the ball in the back of his net. That is literally his job description. And everybody else on the pitch, it's their job to get the ball up the field and get the ball to him. And we don't play in that manner at all. At all. We play for the wingers. We play for the inside forwards. That's what we play for. The striker is literally useless. We might as well put a fucking garden gnome there and just leave him on the pitch, because that's what it is. We don't look for the guy. We don't try to give him the ball. When he makes certain runs, he doesn't get it. When he makes other runs, it's a shit ball that doesn't go to him, or they miss the run. It's this fucking team is an absolute disaster. An absolute disaster. And I'm fed up with them. And here's the major problem. I know a lot of people, they want Ten Hag sacked. My concern with sacking Erik ten Hag is because the most likely scenario to come out of sacking Erik ten Hag is you have a new CEO, you have a new director of football, you have a new technical director, we have new owners, right? And you're going to get a new manager. So what's going to happen? What is the outcome that is going to happen if you sack Ten Hag and get a new manager? The most likely outcome is these players that we want sold, that need to be sold, that do not deserve to be here, that do not deserve to represent this club because they do it so poorly week in and week out, and they're overpaid, they will get another chance. They will get another season. That season will be a complete fucking waste because we all know what it is. We all know who they are. We've been with them for years now. But these guys, because they're new, they're going to come in and they're going to give everybody a fresh page. It's a new start. It's a new era. It's a new way. And it's going to be a complete and fucking utter waste of time because we know what they are. They've shown it to us. They've had multiple opportunities to prove themselves, and they have failed on numerous occasions. More than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. So that my concern with sacking Erik ten Hag is I don't trust the process that's coming after this, because they have there's no credit for me to rely on. There's nothing for me to fall back and be like, I can trust these guys. I don't know in what direction they want to go. I mean, there's talks of this Gareth Southgate shit doesn't go away, and neither does the Graham Potter thing. And it's a huge concern. It's a huge concern that you are going to sack Eric Ten Hag to bring in a manager like Graham Potter or Gareth Southgate, who are worse than Ten Hag, right? And they are spineless. Like some people are saying Ten Hag don't have balls. Those guys are transitioned as far as I'm concerned. That's how much no balls they fucking have, because they are spineless. So they will be a puppet, and Ineos will run everything in the background. So the manager won't really be a manager. He will be a coach. He will be a coach, and that's it. He won't be a real manager. He won't be like a Klopp. He won't be like a Guardiola. He won't be like a Ferguson. He will be a coach and just a PR puppet, essentially. Put out, press conference. He makes no real decisions. Everybody else is running stuff. Now, could that work? Maybe. But also could be a total fucking disaster, and we could end up finishing in 10th for the next 2-3 seasons. So I don't know, but for me, I can't back Ten Hag today. I cannot back him today on what he did. The substitutions, just, I mean, he tried to manage it a little bit in terms of he addressed what was going wrong. We looked like we shored it up a little bit in the second half. We weren't as bad, but that's not a fucking standard to hold. That's not a standard to hold, because the first half was so atrocious. I swear to God, I seen toddlers play more organized than we were. So it's, the standards on the fucking floor at this place. And there's nobody that seems to be holding it up. Bruno's going to get a lot of criticism. And I tell you one thing, I'm not saying he had a good performance. The guy scored 2 goals. It probably saves his player rating, right? But and this is not good enough for our club. But out of all the fucking players on the pitch, on the club, he cares. The reason why he bitches and moans so much is because he doesn't like to lose. He's trying to win, and he actually gives a fuck. Right? There are players on that pitch that they don't care. And I don't care the words that come out of their mouth. I don't care about the PR statements that they fucking make to the media to try and win over fans. They show it on the pitch week in and week out for numerous seasons. They do not give a fuck about this club. They don't care about the fans. All they're concerned about is themselves, their image, and how much money they can fucking make. That's all they care about. That's all they care about. All they care about. So I don't know. I mean, we needed a fucking win. I said it in the pre-match show. I said a draw is a loss is a loss. These results cannot happen. We needed a win. Tottenham dropping points, and every time a Tottenham or a Villa drop points, guess what we do? We also drop points. We are the greatest bottlers there is. We have gone from a team, just look at the contrast. We went from a club that used to pull crazy ass, last second, last minute, unbelievable results time and time and time and time again. We used to do it on a consistent basis. We are now the complete opposite of that. And we do the opposite of that on a consistent basis. And I want to read this tweet out, because I think if you guys know Terry Flewers, who runs the Football Terrace, because I seen him tweet it and I read it. And I said, you know what? I said, he is absolutely spot on, and I wanna read it, and then we'll get on to the player ratings, and we'll end this shit. He wrote, and this sums up Manchester United absolutely perfectly. He said, it's not that our opponents are that good most weeks. It's just that Manchester United have perfected the art of being the worst footballing team in the Premier League. And he is absolutely 110% correct. 110% correct. This is what I just said. We play so fucking bad. It's the other teams aren't even necessarily better than us. We just have mastered and on a consistent basis have just played the worst football you can probably play as a team so consistently that we are masters of that. And that's how we get beat. Because we didn't play football. That's a dull. I mean, Bournemouth are gonna feel upset that they didn't get the win. They wanted 3 points. They're not even happy with the draw. That's how shit we played. You would think a team like Bournemouth would be like, oh, we played United. We got a point. That's a fucking good result. It's like a W for us. They're not even happy with the point. They wanted all 3 points. They probably deserved it because we were garbage. Let's do player ratings and we'll end it because I wasted enough of my time on these assholes that don't care. So, Onana, I'm going to give him a 5.5 solely because 2 goals conceded. I thought he could have done slightly better on both goals. He did make some important saves for us. He is conceding literally the most shots in the Premier League. So, I mean, goals are going to go in. When you're conceding the most shots out of every team in the Premier League, you're going to concede goals. So I can't even hold him lower than like a 5.5 for that because it's literally, I mean, the guy is not Superman. He can't save every goddamn shot. So, Diego Dalot, for me, 4, was getting absolutely cooked, was lost in possession, was not how he was performing prior to that Chelsea incident where he was on top of his game. Absolutely, was just all over the place. Wasn't strong, wasn't getting the tackles in. 4. Harry Maguire, I give him a 5.5. You know, it is what it is. Koumbala, I feel bad for the kid, but he didn't play good. I give him a 5. I'm trying to be generous here because he is a kid. In reality, maybe even a 4.5 because he wasn't great today. And I feel so bad for this kid. I feel so bad because I wanted him to do good. And it had to be him. It had to be him that just made the mistake that led up the first goal. This is why I have a problem with the younger players being thrown in here because this is not an atmosphere for these young players. We are in a toxic environment, in a toxic team that is playing absolutely shit, and I fear for these younger kids because it is a totally different world than it used to be. I mean, this kid, if he's smart, he would stay off of social media, and I know how hard that is, but it won't do him any good to go on social media today after the match because he is going to get absolutely cooked by a large percentage of people throughout the world. It's just how the world works. Some people don't give a shit that he's a kid. They are going to absolutely roast him, and it's not gonna do him any good. And that's why I fear for these kids. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, 4.5. Casemiro, 4. Again, this is the 3rd match in a row. He has not scored higher than a 5. 3rd match in a row. I mean, I would drop Casemiro, but it's like, who the fuck do you put in? Because I know Amrabat ain't going to give you higher than a 5 either. He's shit. So, if anything, I think it's come to the point where we're going to have to shift Maino to the back and just play Mount and Bruno. Unless Scott McTominay comes back. But even Scott's not going to give you fucking any better than probably Casemiro. It's just, I don't know what's happened to Casemiro. Just seems like he's checked out. Seems like he's done. Seems like he's finished. Like he knows he's leaving. He's made the decision that he's gone at the end of the season. This season is pretty much dead to him. And it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. His head is not there. He looks like half the player he fucking was. So, I really don't know. Kobe, I'm going to give him a 5.5. I think he struggled today. But I mean, it's to be expected because the whole team played like absolute garbage. So, I mean, I don't expect Kobe Mano to be balling out doing a 7, 8, and 9 when there's 9 other players around him that are doing fuck all and playing like shit. It just doesn't make sense. But he did struggle physically wise. He did have some good moments like he always does because he is class and he has that in his locker and he still keeps the calmness and stuff like that. But it was a tough, difficult match for him. It was a tough, difficult match for him, and it just wasn't his greatest display. But I don't really hold him to it. It's more of his teammates around there. Bruno Fernandes, he's solely Bruno Fernandes is solely getting a 5.5. Because he scored 2 goals, one of them is a penalty. That's solely it. Solely it. Because I think his overall performance again doesn't merit a 6 or higher. And that's just by what he produced on the pitch. But 5.5 for me. Still trying to hold the standards here. He is the captain. When Maguire had the armband, I held Maguire to captain standards week in and week out, and I was judging his performances based on a captain, and I would criticize him harder than every other player. So I have to do it with Bruno, and it's just been the same Bruno all season. Just it's not enough for me. We need more from him. We need more from him in terms of open play stuff. And he gives the ball away too much. He does too many stupid mistakes at times, and that's what's dropping his score. He needs to be more composed. He needs to be a little bit sharper, a little bit quicker, a little bit smarter. But I honestly think Bruno Fernandes is burnt out from playing so many matches. Because the guy doesn't get injured somehow, and he literally plays every match and plays 90 minutes, and he goes and plays with Portugal constantly. I just think he is meant, whether he actually knows or whether he accepts it, I still think he is mentally burned out, where he thinks he's performing okay and he's performing fine, but he's split second off here, he's off there. That's why we're seeing so many fuck ups all over the place from him. Garnacho, I give him a 5. Not even a 5. I think, you know what, he was pretty bad today, so 4.5 to a 5 for me. Gave the ball away that led to the goal. He didn't look like himself. He didn't look like himself today. I don't know what it was. I still argue that there would be a huge consideration to pull off Marcus Rashford, put Garnacho on his left side, which is the side he favors and the side he plays the best, and put Diallo on the right. Because Marcus Rashford didn't do anything better than Alejandro Garnacho. So, but it wasn't his game either. He didn't look sharp. He looked off. I noticed it like 10 minutes into the match. It looked very, very off. Marcus Rashford, for me, 3, and that's being generous. I would even look to give him a 2.5. I mean, he did like he's been doing all season. Nothing, complains, doesn't give his all. And I'm fucking sick and tired of it. And I was trying to give him benefits of the doubt early on. But he's burnt that out for me. He's burnt that out for me because he's not giving me anything. He's not showing me anything. He's not giving me a reason to continue fucking backing him. All right? So why am I going to continue backing him when he seems to have turned his back on this manager, his teammates, and the fans? He can say whatever he likes to the press. He can pretend all he wants, but when I watch him on that pitch, he's not fucking showing it. He's not showing it. And Rasmus Højlund, he's gonna get a 5, 4.5. Struggled at times, wasn't involved as much as I'd like him to be. Lost the ball at times, was getting bullied by the center backs, but also at the same time, like I mentioned in the beginning of the show, we don't look for him. We don't look to get him involved. They don't try to play him the ball in the box. So it's harsh because for me, you got to give the guy the ball in and around the box, get him his opportunities, and his job is to put the ball in the back of the net, and that's pretty much it. There's times that this guy was dropping into the midfield, trying to win the ball back. He even moved out to left wing at one point when Rashford decided he was going to sit in the middle as striker, like that was going to fucking do something, which I didn't understand. Yeah, we just don't play to Højlund. We just don't play to him. We don't play to him. We play for the inside forwards. We play for Rashford and Garnacho. That's what we play for. We don't play for the striker. We don't play to the striker. So it's hard to really criticize Rasmus, but he wasn't at his best either. Nobody was. That's why we tied. Amad Diallo, I'm gonna give him a 5.5. Even a 6. Because I think he did pretty good when he came on. He offered some stuff. He got into some spaces. He was making dribbles. He was getting forward. And I think overall he did pretty good coming on. He did way more than Rashford. He did way more than Rashford. In the next match, Rashford should not be playing. Rashford shouldn't be touching the fucking pitch. It should be Amad Diallo and Garnacho and Anthony. And that's as simple as that. There's no fucking excuses. There's no excuses. Mason Mount, 5.5, 6. I mean, what was there to do? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand that this guy gets played 15 minutes, doesn't get started. Was the first signing we made, 55 million. I don't think he did much wrong. There's nothing really for me to criticize, only the fact that he should be playing more. And needs to be involved more. And Erik ten Hag, he's getting a 3 from me today. I think the whole thing was a disaster from start to finish. I don't like the fact that he pulled off Garnacho at halftime, left Rashford on. I don't like the fact that he started Rashford. I think we were getting absolutely obliterated in the first half, and he waited till halftime to address this shit when the changes needed to be made immediately. So, 3 for me. He deserves that score. And like I said in the beginning, he's on his final line. He's on his final line. So are you going to step up, and are you going to make the changes that are necessary, and you're going to take, I guess, what you would consider a gamble and put in these other players? Or are you going to continue with the same sacks of shit that have been letting you down week in and week out, that have been letting this club down week in and week out, and you're just going to keep going that way till the club decides to sack you? That is where we've reached at this point. Unless he already knows that he is being removed, and then therefore maybe what Neil Custis said in The Sun maybe is true. Maybe he does know that he is done at the end of the season, and he just don't give a fuck anymore. It's one or the other. It seems like one or the other to me. I can't say for sure, but we will find out. We will find out at some point. So that's going to be it for me. I got other things to do. Thank you, everybody that's tuned in. I just want to check real quick. I don't think anybody left any comments. Somebody, Michael Olumidi, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. He said Manchester United is already dead. Yeah, you could probably argue that. It's been 11 years, right? It's been 11 years. So I don't know, but yeah, thank you for your comment. Appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate those comments. We'll read you out as always. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will probably, maybe, I might dedicate some time to do another video tomorrow. How much time I want to dedicate into this clusterfuck, I don't know. But if not, we will have video in the upcoming week for sure. Anything major breaks, we will go live for that, as always. So make sure you turn on the notifications and subscribe. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We greatly appreciate you. Try and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't let United ruin it, because they seem to like and try and do that every single weekend. But other than that, be good. Stay safe. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for watching us. And we will catch you on the next one. Always bringing you another one. And we will see you later.